There's a new weapon on the rise in modern warfare. U.S. Air Force leaders point to small drones as one of the top threats in combat. Mark Martin traveled to the top military site tasked with meeting this challenge. Here's his report from Grand Forks Air Force Base in North Dakota.
Russia's war on Ukraine is bringing drone warfare front and center, showcasing how these unmanned aerial vehicles are used for surveillance and combat. This footage, reportedly released by Ukrainian special forces, appears to show a drone destroying a Russian armored vehicle and tank. Then there's actually drone-on-drone combat. This video depicts a drone dogfight, reportedly involving equipment used for surveillance by Ukrainian and Russian armed forces.
There's very little protection in the way of anti-drone measures.
And it's not just in the air. Here you see what appears to be a Ukrainian sea drone attacking a Russian tanker ship in the Black Sea. At North Dakota's Grand Forks Air Force Base, they're not taking the use of drones lightly. The 319th Reconnaissance Wing's small UAS program is the first in Air Combat Command to utilize such a program with operators from multiple units.
You don't have to go far to go look at what's happening around the world, right? It is no secret what our adversaries are doing with these things.
Captain Matthew Kroll is the vice chairman for small unmanned aerial systems operations here.
These things can be weaponized and they can be used to hurt people and things. And unfortunately, what that means is we, as the Department of Defense and the United States Air Force, have to go out there and counter that threat.
One drone that airmen train on is the quadcopter-style Skydio X2D. The Security Forces unit employs it to defend the base through perimeter scans or identifying threats from the sky. That use can also transfer to overseas bases.
That goes even beyond into the deployed missions that we serve, where our commanders are constantly under threat from the outside of the wire threat. Those threats are immediately answered by this type of technology.
Senior Airman Tavi Efron operates the drone and says it's pretty impressive what they can do.
For instance, maybe active shooters. There's something locating an individual in that aspect to get eyes on so somebody else who is in part of that mission control can see what's going on and maybe redirect us in ways that we didn't think on the ground could be done.
Kroll says they also use it for aircraft recovery training and, if required, could fly it to survey a crash site.
You would see whatever the camera sees on the aircraft itself.
Members of the aircraft maintenance unit gave us a demo of the Skydio X2D.
So I'm going to get a little bit of altitude here to get away from things. Change over to my waypoint mission. And then I'll just hit play. And then the aircraft does what it's already told to do.
Master Sergeant Matthew Roberts says using a system like this to survey and assess damages saves time, money, and resources.
It eliminates a lot of boots on the ground, in a sense, to do what we need to in a short time and capture what we need to without expending a lot of resources ahead of time to make the job and the mission happen quickly and safely.
There are actually 2 active-duty military missions involving unmanned aerial systems operating here at Grand Forks Air Force Base. In addition to the Skydio, which you already saw, another unit operates what's called the RQ-4, or Global Hawk. You're looking at the world's largest drone. The 348th Reconnaissance Squadron here flies the Global Hawk. The long-endurance aircraft can reach extremely high altitudes of 50 to 60,000 feet. Captain Mark Cochran remotely pilots the large-scale system that provides global day or night intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance.
The RQ-4 Global Hawk is a premier intelligence asset that is one of the only assets that's capable of giving such a long collection time without needing aerial refueling. And I feel like that's its biggest bring to any kind of AOR or combatant commander.
Brad Bowman of the Foundation for Defense of Democracies calls these drone systems fundamentally important to the U.S. military.
We really are, unfortunately, continue to be in an arms race against adversaries that are building drones. Obviously, Russia has drones. They're working with Iran on their drones. China is a major developer and exporter of drones. The country that has the most advanced drones, the right quantity of drones and employs them effectively, it's going to have life and death consequences on the battlefield.
And airmen at the Grand Forks Air Force Base are fully aware, describing this tech as a game changer in a time of war and another way Americans can feel safe. Mark Martin, CBN News, Grand Forks, North Dakota.
Well, indeed, warfare has certainly changed. Less boots on the ground. And to think that that Global Hawk goes 60,000 feet in altitude, incredible. It's a great look at how our U.S. military, particularly the Air Force, is seeking to combat international threats. Thank you so much.